Do we restart? All right, welcome everybody to Overdriven the ORL podcast, episode 76. The All-Star, the awards show. As always, we're joined by Hendrik. What up, Hendrik?
What up, what up?
Yep, yes, sir. What up with you? And then, as always, we got distracted Bren with us tonight watching the NFL draft. What up, Bren?
Hello, peoples.
Well, gentlemen, this week was an interesting weekend of racing. I do believe there was fun racing, great racing all around. You got EXO winning the Trucks Championship with iTrip taking the checkered flag. Starting to where the heck's my phone? And then Tariq won the NXT Championship by a landslide. Who won that race?
It was
Forget-
Yeti, and
Yeti, yep,
it was
Yeti won
definitely
the
an
race.
interesting finish.
Yep. Yeti won that race, and then Premier side of things, Stein taking it from Sterlo, couldn't gain really much any ground. And crap, I'm blanking who won that race.
Blue Star
K4,
won that
K4.
race for your
Yeah,
team.
K4.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Last win in your team's history.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, I think it was overall a very good a really good playoffs, really good championship. I think all deserving guys all won. They all deserved it. No funny business here. We had some issues here and there in Premiere, but overall very good. What was your experience like in Premiere, Hendrik?
No, wait, what was that?
What was your experience like in Premiere this week for the Homestead race?
It wasn't terrible. I felt like I was able to run in the top 10 for a decent portion of the race. I think as I get more races with the wheels, like I continue to, show improvement. I think Homestead was another example of that. Unfortunately, just didn't have the best pit strategy at the end, and I did have a little bit of contact with someone that sent me in the wrong direction. But besides from that, it was a good run.
Good deal. Now, Bren, you finally completed your rookie. I would say your rookie season. I know you've been in Premiere before, but you only had what 3-4 starts before that, and then went to NXT, and then came. Not your rookie season. I can't say you went. You did a whole season.
It's not my rookie season. Yeah, I ran half the season because it shut down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Can't really call it your rookie season, but your first full season as a driver in the Premier Series. How did it finish at Homestead?
Like I said, first full season, I would say. Homestead, it didn't finish like I wanted it to. All things considered, I felt like I left a lot on the table. In stage 2 with the mistake that I had. Other than that, I just I don't know. I felt like I was a little off all night, and then I was off strategy in stage 3. I had to pit later because someone got underneath me, and everyone came down pit road at the same time, so I didn't really have a choice. And I was 8th when I came out of pit when I was coming down to pit road, and I came out 12th. So it kind of costed me like 3 spots. So I was not happy about that. And then we had the late race incident where Kate Thams went around, so I was able to secure a top 10. As a whole, my season was decent. I felt like we had our ups and downs. Start of the season was very good. Felt like that's really what I started to lock in. I felt like that was finally, and then everything changed. I felt like we had such a roster turnover that it took me a little bit to get adjusted to new people, because the beginning of the season, you look in that roster, bro, half the people aren't in Premiere anymore, or they're like part-time. Like the roster turnover was crazy. So I had to get adjusted to that. Overall, though, I think my rookie season, I mean, for expectations going into the season, I was expected to be maybe a bubble driver for the wildcard race, and I didn't even have to run the wildcard race to actually get in the playoffs. So that was something that you look forward to, like, especially for me, considering how I am perceived as in this league as a guy who's just kind of there. I was very happy about that. Yeah, I thought it was very good. Showed improvement this season. I think there's a lot more to go, especially with this new wheel. I ran a race last night, but I think going forward, my mindset is just keep it clean, don't have incidents, and try to finish top 10 every race. But yeah, I had fun this season. I definitely think there's some room to grow. But I thought the Premier field as a whole throughout the season has shifts and everything, but I thought it was fun. Premiere was definitely
Yeah,
improvement.
it's definitely very entertaining at times, very stressful at times. Different roster now that it's going to be reset to the roster for next season. I think it improves next season a whole lot more than it improved this season because you'll have more playoff drivers who belong to be playoff drivers, in my opinion. Instead of coming in halfway in the season and not being playoff eligible, now you'll have playoff eligibility. People have earned their spots based on how they performed in Premier, like a Sales, I believe, like a K4, like a Copper. So it's like one of those things where like people will step up with competition. Valley's also a person who wasn't playoff eligible and just was by starts and then was able to get his wins and then show what he's worth in the Premier Series and show how much he's going to be a threat going forward. So Premier's going to take a definitely step up for next season, especially when you have so many new playoff eligible drivers. NXT took a very good step up after we changed from Xfinity cars to Cup cars. Very good season after that. A couple, his miss here and there, drama here and there, but very good. Tyreek ran away with it, showing himself why he deserves to be in a premier ride. He's going in a premier ride full time, even though he's technically been premier by a sub driver pretty much every week since probably week 3. But he's earned his spot going into his rookie season. Next season's going to be very improved. I was very happy. NLS, also another person going up. He can be aggressive at times, can be, get in his own way a couple times here and there, but he's also a guy who's more level-headed. Level-headed when it comes to strategy-wise, knows what he wants to do. Happy to see him. And then shout out EXO. I know EXO has had a long career at ODRL, NXT. He's never won a race until he got the trucks. Got his championship. Got a championship for DSR the last champion of DSR. So I'm very proud of him. Appreciate him for that. Now he's my teammate going forward next season. So yeah, I was very happy. Homestead, it played out like I thought it was going to. Spaced out. It's pretty. These tracks are pretty good once we get spread out by pit stops. The bottom lane works 10 times better when you're separated and you start making hot laps on these bottom lines. But it played out like I thought every race. No drama, no like big thing different, no points drama here. I think Sterlo wrecked himself in stage 3, but into stage 2. Was that into stage 2? Yeah, into stage 2
It
he
was
wrecked himself after the
got
cutoff.
loose.
Yeah, and then you caused the caution midway in stage 2, which resulted in strategy being played out. But
Yep,
I don't
Blue
really
Star
can't
hated
blame you
me.
for him. Blue Star hit you. Just you're teammates. I know he's in your camp, so you're just getting used to your teammates, I guess.
Hey,
But
I
very
got a
happy.
question real
Hey,
quick.
that was an unneeded stray, Mets.
What's your question, Zobo?
Was the wreck with Sterlo not indeed because Mets went AFK and his car drove up on the track?
No,
Okay,
That was
I thought
stage
that's what you
one,
were talking
and
no,
about.
he held
that
on.
was no.
Uh,
He's
Stage
held on
one was when
somehow.
I went away because of emergency, and then came back, and my car was turned the opposite way, nowhere near where I parked it originally. Ghosted, and I was like sitting here when I got back saying I'm not moving at all because I'm gonna become unghosted at the wrong time and affect even more. Hopefully I don't infect it. And then I came back, my mic decided not to work, so I ran around by myself for a couple laps until I pitted to say, all right, let me fix my stuff here, and I pitted to clear everything up. And then I heard Sterlo got affected, but then he won the stage, so I don't know how affected he was. So I'm happy that it didn't really affect him too much. And he still won the stage, so no harm, no foul there. And yeah, I was very upset. I was like, why am I up here when I parked in the infield? It was a very strange. It must have reset when I went away from the controller, dropped on the ground. I don't know. It was very weird. But yeah, I usually don't make any excuses there, but it happens, and luckily nothing major happened. But yeah, it was very good overall. I really enjoyed it. Everybody deserved the earned wins this week. Didn't no funny business, no nothing. Champions, congratulations to Stein for beating Sterlo in that 13-point deficit. Congratulations to Tyreek for blowing everybody out of the water there in an EXO with a nice clutch performance. I know there's drama there with pumps in that first 2 laps. No really ill intent there. Pumps force it 3 wide in turn 1. Bubble instance there. No really blame there. I can't really put blame on, just racing thing. I know Pumps wishes a caution came out there, which I think eventually came out. Just not for that stage, so he couldn't really benefit himself. And then EXO won that stage, so it was a 6-point gap right there that was added. So he really couldn't do anything there. But that was pretty much the only drama we had all week, in my opinion. I know we had little things here and there, but drivers will be drivers, and everybody won't be happy at the end of races. But yeah, shout out Stein, shout out everybody. They deserved it. It was a great season overall. Wish we had spectator mode. Wish we had to show off some of these races. We'll get it eventually. Hopefully, future installments of this game. And, show off. I know Hendrick wants to be back in that booth and calling races. Brandon wants to be back in that booth calling races. And really showing out the talent of the Odero. So yeah, we'll move on. I don't think no podcast questions tonight because this awards will go pretty long. Anybody who wants to join the podcast table after they win an award, even the series champion, if you're available to talk about your championship, you're free to join. But we'll get through these awards. There's a couple shockers, in my opinion, couple not, but we'll talk about them nonetheless. I think we all know who they are in our chat, so there's no surprises here in this chat. But we'll go through them here. We'll start with Team Owner of the Year. Let me go to my chat here. Team Owner of the Year for Premier. Hendrick, do you have an opinion on this? Who do you feel like stands out here in the Premier Team Owners?
For team owner, man, that's a really good one. I feel like the fact that ILM had 3 of their guys make the final round shows a lot of, how good the team has been. So, I mean, I know that one's going to be up for discussion, but I think for me, I think it's ILM.
Yeah, it's I think between Impact with HVM and then ILM with Iron Man. I think it's up in that you get the argument is 3 people of the ILM, 3 drivers of the ILM made the final 4 in a championship 4 format, and then one of them won the championship. That's a great argument to make. But I really think when you win the championship by team points with 50 plus points, I think it ended up being, if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me.
It was 35, but
35 points.
That's pretty handy.
Yeah, so I don't think you can really outweigh Impact's doing right there. I think HVM deserved it all season long. I think they led from first race to last race all season. The addition of Valley was definitely an improvement. No offense to the Cowboys, I just think he was taking his time getting used to the game. Decided to step away for a couple weeks to readjust himself, and then came back as a solo driver. And then Valley took that spot. I think he's really shined. And then he took 3 weeks off at the end of the season for his own personal reasons. And then Cowboys went back to that ride and was able to show off some things himself back in that 5 car too. So I was happy he was able to finish the season on that 5 car. But overall, very good season for HVM. They deserve it. So Impact is the team owner of the year for Premier. So congratulations to Impact. Bren, as the spokesman for that, because I know Impact's probably dead asleep right now. I'll take. You can accept this award on his behalf. So, what's your thoughts on HVM here and their season so far in Premier, or at the end of Premier?
First and foremost, shout out to Sterlo. He is the manager for the Premier team. He handles a lot of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So shout out to him. He manages everything. He makes sure everything is correct. So if he was here, you could bring him in. He'd be the one to be able to talk about it more than me. Team as a whole, obviously, like you said, everyone worked together. We tried to get everyone in rhythm. Parker was solid throughout the year. I know me and him struggled at the end, but Valley and Sterlo and Cowboys picked us up just to make sure we can hold on to it. And then overall, teamwork was great this season. I feel like this year we really bonded a lot more. Last season obviously ended short, so we wanted to finally get a team championship the full season, so we finally got it done. And yeah, there's not much to it. We just worked well together. We bond, and that's really the best thing you can do as a team. Just making sure you have chemistry and work together, strategize together. That's really all we can do going forward.
Very, very true. All right, we will move on to the NXT Team Owner of the Year. Bren, I'll start with you because I know you don't really have a dog in this fight. I guess you do with HVM, but you're not driving for anybody here. You're not really
I'm not.
keen on this. Who do you feel is the NXT Team Owner of the Year?
I haven't been able to keep up with them as much. Based on what I know, I don't know how ILM has been. I know they probably won the team championship. Yes, they did. Okay. I know it was between TBR and ILM, just like Premier. If I had to go with one, I think both are deserving, because ILM obviously had the most. They won the team championship. It was very tight. It was 4 points, which was nuts. That is crazy. So yeah, ILM I think had probably the most consistency, but I think TBR with Tyreek's speed and Lyle, they really showed out. Tyreek especially. I think once his internet got fixed, dude, I knew he was gonna get to Premiere eventually if he got his internet fixed. So I'm happy for him. So if I had to pick one, probably TBR, but I understand and 100% agree with ILM as well, because they're both deserving. Like same with Premiere. Like both are deserving. We understand completely.
Yeah,
Like
it's one of those
everyone's
things
deserving.
here. It's one of those things here in the NXT side of things. It is just like HVM has a 35-point lead at the end of the season. TBR, correct me if I'm wrong, had 8 wins in NXT for the team.
They had 12.
12 wins on one
12
team.
wins.
12
Good
wins.
God.
But they had a 30-point lead. I think somebody told me maybe 50, but at least a 30-point lead. Probably 2 months ago, and ILM just kept knocking away at it, and it took the lead as a team this week. So it took them all to knock away. Even with those 12 wins, it really took ILM really just put what they had to do and came back and took
That
it.
is impressive.
And it's the one of the reasons. Yeah, it's the reason why ILM is the team owner of the year for NXT. As you said, both are deserving. You could argue 12 wins should be over the points wise, but it just didn't have a play out in the ballots we had, and what's it called? The people who voted. So I can see the argument either way, but Iron Man is the team owner of the year in NXT. So congratulations to him. I know he's pretty used to this award for weeks, years and years past, but congratulations to him again for this award. Now this is an interesting. I want to hear from both of y'all here for trucks. It's very interesting here from the result that we got in this decision here. I'll give you both who do y'all think would be the truck champion of the year, or for the truck team owners champion award of the year, best team owner? I'll start with Brent. Who do you think?
Oh shoot. Sorry. Oh gosh. All right, let me check. Okay. All I know is that there were two guys all season long that were up front, at least in the team championship wise. I think it was ALTM and of course your team, with Hendrick and if
No,
I'm
not
not
my team.
mistaken. No, that's
It's
not your
Georgia's
team.
Georgia's team.
Georgia's
GHRA.
team. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
And
it was
Hendrick
tight
went
all
to
season. I think they were tight all season. I don't really have a dog in the fight. I know I'm technically, but I don't really. I don't know the team rosters enough in trucks.
It's okay.
I don't have a dog in the fight, but I'm gonna go with whoever you guys pick because obviously your team won the championship. Now, obviously, Dirty South had and team standing wise, it wasn't as high, but you guys won the championship with EXO, so I can
Mhm.
understand why. And plus, you have a solid roster based on what I know. But if I had to go team points, obviously AOTM in their final season, clutching up truck championship points was nice for them, especially sending them out for one last time. So truck wise, I'm gonna go
Albert.
with Georgia actually. I think he had a really good roster this season. He also had Hendrick who showed out for him. Hendrick
Most
and
of
then
the
he
season, yeah.
finally Hendrick and then iTrip also showed out in the season. But other than that, I mean, I agree with all the awards so far.
Hendrick, how about you? Who would be your pick for the truck team owner of the year?
My opinion, I think just based on consistency and what teams is consistently up there, I have to go with I would have to go with HVM or Thor Sports trucks because I mean you got Pumps first off, who was an immediate championship contender, won many races, um, and then you also have Lefty, who also made the Final Four. I mean, you had two of the four trucks from that team make the championship 4 round.
Yeah.
And then you follow that up, you get Pure Splash. Pure Splash was able to snag a couple wins here and there. And then to also go with it, you got Cowboy Tech. He didn't make the playoffs, but of all the ones in the points, he was the highest one that didn't make the playoffs. So I mean, consistency was there for them all season. And I know that Pumps, Lefty, I know those two specifically, they did really well as a duo. So I think in my eyes, I would have went with um, HVM, but I mean, I based on what I saw, I can see why it went the other way around.
Yeah, the winner is me, and I just want to say that I don't know why it's me. I didn't vote for myself here. I didn't say myself. So it's flabbergasted when ballots came back and all the senior admins voted me as the team owner of the year. I guess it's because of the getting EXO to the championship and getting his first wins of the league and getting his first championship. Which I completely understand, but I just think, I would say Georgia Dog, in my opinion, were the leader all the way to the end. One of those. HVM was another one, but I appreciate it. I appreciate them voting for me for it. I love to be recognized for, what I bring as a owner, and especially when I'm closing the doors of that team and redoing and remaking a team in another image and with Georgia Dog in the future. So it's gonna be, I thank you for that because you never know when you're gonna get a, opportunity to be team owner of the year. So I appreciate all the senior admins for voting me. I don't think it's deserved, but I greatly appreciate it. But comeback driver of the year. Trucks will not have a comeback driver because obviously it's in season one. Really can't come back from anything from season one. If you had a comeback, you could say EXO because he never really blossomed in NXT and then went to Truck, but we just haven't had an award here for Trucks. But comeback of the year, right here. Premier wise, who do you feel like is the comeback driver of the year, Hendrik?
Oh, that's a tough one. If I had to go with someone here, shit, I'm trying to not say his name, but I feel like I don't really have a choice. Although he did not win, the fact that he landed in the top 5 in points
Mm-hmm.
kind of showed a little bit of what Brent can do. You know, I think if he did have a win, I think it would have solidified it a little bit more. But considering of all those on, the premier roster, I think Brent was the one that stood out to me the most.
Yeah. Insoluble, play the brand music for me.
Are you fucking serious, Bren? What the fuck are you doing?
Well, what the fuck is he doing? He's about to win comeback driver of the year award for Premier. So congratulations to Bren for winning it. Down year last his half rookie season. Got his wheel going this season. Finished the top 5 in total points. I think is only benefited one by a sub driver, if I'm not mistaken. Only one sub driver race this year, so you can't really say he didn't earn top 5 points. He did it himself. So congratulations, Bren. What do you got to say for yourself for winning comeback driver of the year, Bren?
I'm very grateful to all the admins and stuff for this award. I didn't expect to win anything. Yeah, I had one sub at Phoenix. It was K4 who did really well. That was my only sub of the year. Yeah, like I said, came into the season just hoping to run solid. Did way better than I expected early on. Just tried to keep that momentum up. Unfortunately, the playoffs, Coda didn't go the way I wanted it to, so kind of got me in a hole for New Hampshire, and I just couldn't get out of that hole and got eliminated. So my goal was try to get top 5 in the points overall. We did what we had to do. K4 helped me out a lot at Phoenix, but yeah, I appreciate everyone for the votes, and I appreciate the senior admins, and I appreciate Impact, Sterlo, Valley, Cowboys, Yoshi, all helped me out this year. It was definitely a journey, and I hope to improve next season as well. So I'm going to come back stronger next season.
I definitely believe in you. I think you can do it. Now we move on to NXT comeback. Now, some people say this could be depends on how you look at the definition of comeback. But I think this is a unanimous decision by all senior admins, if I'm not mistaken. Hendrik, how do you feel about this comeback driver for the NXT side of things?
I actually like the pick here. I will say, we've seen, a lot of controversial stuff be said about him, and he's even done some things that was questionable. But the way everything ended to end the season, I definitely think that was a good showcase to show why, someone like this guy would be the comeback driver of the year. And not only that, I mean, I've seen what he's done in some of the other leagues, like the Saturday Night Xfinity League.
Mm-hmm.
He's really started to become someone that would frequently be up in the front, and then just ending the season off in NXT, in the best way possible. I'm not surprised by this one.
Yep, I think we all agree on this one. Brent, I don't think you'll disagree with this one. I think it's Yeti here. Congratulations to Yeti for winning the comeback driver of the year in NXT. He's had a tumultuous ODRL career. He was ousted a couple times. Came back. I
Dude.
think he was a Final Four driver in season 1 of NXT. Was ousted after. Was he? I think it was Final Four. Didn't he get mad? Wasn't he? Didn't he get mad over Spartan winning the championship and him missing the championship because of a benefited his friend pushed Martin to a win at Auto Club, if I'm not mistaken, and yet he missed the championship by that help. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe so. So I think he was a Final Four driver early on. And then he, had his issues, aggressiveness, not adjusting to Heat 5, not understanding what we expect from him. Came to NASCAR 25. Wasn't really a struggle for him in Xfinity cars. He wasn't really the one who stood out struggle-wise. He eased himself into the season, came into the season strong, throughout the season strong, and got himself, and helping himself get his name cleared. I understand the general chat is one thing, but as a driver, I think he's improved. I think he's earned this comeback driver. I think he's did great this season. Won the last race of the season. Doing good. I think he's one of the championship contenders going into next season, especially in these cars. As Hendrick said about these cars in the Xfinity series that we ran for about a 2-month period there. I think he won like 6 races over there in a 10-12 race season. So did fantastic there. So I think he earned this. I think he's comeback driver. I think he's gonna be a championship favorite, and we'll see how he does. I don't think anybody disagrees
Yeti's
there.
definitely, yeah. Yeti's definitely a guy who it took him a little bit. I think he still gets in run-ins every now and then, but it took him a little bit to get used to running in ODRO again. I think the bigger leagues he has to get used to again. So it took him a little bit. I know last week was a little controversial, but a win's a win. And overall, I've raced with him a lot in a different league, and he's pretty good. And he just joined, so he might talk.
Yeah, I got you. I know how so. Yeti, you won comeback driver of the year. What do you have to say for yourself and your award here?
I appreciate the kind words, and I'm just glad my hard work paid off.
All right. Good luck next season. Thank you for joining us for the first person who's joined out of nowhere and accepted their award. So appreciate you, Peter. I know some people are busy in other league and stuff like that, so not throwing any shade there, but appreciate you accepting your award and looking forward to seeing what you can do next season in Xfinity cars and being a real championship contender.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm in the middle of a league race as we speak too.
Okay, be careful. All right, we'll move on to Rookie of the Year. Big one here. There's the premier side of things could be anybody's game here. There's a lot of people that could be in play here. I think you had 2 in the final 4 at the very least here. Hendrick, how do you feel? How do you feel about this Rookie of the Year candidates in the Premier Series?
I'm not personally shocked. I can still remember all the fuck ups he had in the NXT series in the P5 era. So seeing how much he's evolved into someone that did make it all the way to the end, that's a good pick.
Yeah, you could say that. Bren, how's your feelings towards this guy? I know you had some run-ins maybe during the season with him, also team-wise. Maybe had some run-ins yourself, HVM himself, especially, a little funny incident at Daytona.
That's all I can think about when I think of him.
It was so funny. Yeah, it was so
That's
funny
all I can think
for a lot
about,
of people.
bro.
At least he warned you. I mean,
At least he warned us, right?
Yeah,
He
at least he
warned us.
warned you. But as he said, congratulations to Carrot for winning the Rookie of the Year in Premier. Down to him and Cobra. I think there's an argument of him versus Cobra. In that sense, both got to the final 4. I think Carrot's got him by wins. I think Cobra might have him by total points. But I think it was all lean to Carrot in that long term. Like, okay, the wins might carry more. But shout out Carrot. Definitely a interesting season nonetheless. Daytona was definitely a highlight. You could say a low light in some aspect.
I mean, it was definitely interesting.
It was definitely interesting. Lucky it didn't cost
He had a
anybody.
good season.
Luckily it didn't cost anybody any issues or anything besides the caution coming out. and probably helping us not fuel mileage for that rest of the stage, I believe. So definitely that. But yeah, congratulations to Carrot. I think he well deserved it. I think Carrot Cobra would have deserved it too. So shout out both of them. But yeah, very happy. Well, it's gonna be very interesting to see going forward and seeing what he can do. Who joined? Did he join? Carrot, congratulations on your Rookie of the Year. Floor is yours. Accepting your award.
I appreciate it. I appreciate all the kind words you guys had for me there. That was funny. Yeah. Want to say appreciate Mets, everyone at ILM, Cobra, Spartan, Stein, and can't forget Ironman as well. Stein, all those guys give me a chance to come and run Premier Series. That was a great season. Can't wait for next.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And at least you warned them, right?
I did warn them.
You warned them. At least you warned them. That's all you need to know. At least you warned them. Congratulations, earned it in my opinion, and happy to see what you can do for next season.
Thanks, man.
Yep. All right, we'll move on to NXT Rookie of the Year here. This is an interesting one. There's a couple opportunities for this, but I think this person stood out the most. I think he earned it. I think he started out in his ODRL career as pretty drama. It was a drama filled beginning, not knowing what to think about him. I think it was intentional wrecking and got suspended for the whole race. So it was very tumultuous, to say the very least. But I think he turned it around. I think he turned it around to a point where the respect was there for a lot of people, and like, okay, he's not that kind of, he's not intentional wrecker. He's just, like heat of the moment type thing, and moved on. No issues after that. Brandon, how do you feel about this driver winning Rookie of the Year? I know he's on your team for NXT this season. How do you feel?
I'm happy for him. He finally broke through the win column at the end of the season, head into next season for ILM when he joins them. So happy for him. He ran pretty strong all season and definitely helped out a lot of us on the team as well. So yeah, I'm happy for him. He earned that award, and yeah.
I definitely agree. Definitely agree. Andrew, do you have anything to say about NLS? Did anybody else stood out to you that you may feel that deserved it, or did you feel like it was NLS's to lose?
I think it was NLS's to lose. I'm just trying to think who the other closest one would have been.
Maybe Lyle. That'd be the only other guy I would think.
Lyle could have been. But I think overall, just the fact that NLS didn't start the whole season and he joined in and he immediately leapfrogged almost everybody, I think was kind of insane. So yeah, I'm not shocked by this pick. I know some people won't like the pick. A certain someone that also made the championship will probably be blowing a fuse. But yeah, definitely the right pick.
Yep, very true, very true, very true. But I think he deserved it. Shout out NLS for winning Rookie of the Year. I think he's earned it 100%. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in the Premier Series next year as a rookie of the Premier Series. And he might go back to back Rookie of the Years going into a new series. So we'll see. Well, let's go trucks. Rookie of the Year here. I think there's only one here. I mean, you could argue teammates here again, just like Premier. You could argue teammates, Final Four teammates. Brandon, what's your opinion on this one? Because I know you got a dog in the fight with both these guys. They're both your drivers that you run this series as a leader, as a team captain. What's your thought process on this one?
They're both equally talented. I know I fucked up with one at the end, but they're both equally talented. Pumps is very talented, and Lefty has the skills as well. Full season, and I think Lefty came alive in the playoffs, and I think that really boosted his chances for the Rookie of the Year. Pumps he was already top 5 all season, and he just had the points and carried over every round and was just able to keep consistent. So if you look at the full season, I think you put it over Lefty, but Lefty also would have been deserving. It's too tight between them because Lefty was very good all season, won a lot of races, same as Pumps. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
have the
also
same
think
opinion because they're both very good. They should both win it if it was a double award, but it's only one, so yeah.
I think also the guy who had the most points of the season is also a deserving in Hendrick. He was also
Oh
part
yeah,
of the
he's a
conversation
rookie.
there.
He is a
He was
rookie.
also
My bad, Hendrick.
he was a part of the conversation as well. I think his lack of win kind of really like
He's
didn't help
consistent.
him, but he had the consistency. It was a really tough decision by all of us here. I think it's 1 point for Pumps is the difference between Pumps and Hendrick here. I think Lefty finished third in the ballot. Um, so I think shout out Pumps for winning the Rookie of the Year here in trucks. Seeing what he can do next season when he goes to NXT along with Hendrick, and then battle for Rookie of the Year over there too. Before hopefully Hendrick gets up back in that broadcasting studio in the new game, and can retire his wheel for the foreseeable future as he gets his get back in that broadcasting booth. But yeah, shout out Pumps, he earned it. Up and down. I wouldn't say up and down. I would say consistency was great for him. Saying a couple run-ins here and there. I think he wrecked me. I think he wrecked me like 4 straight races. It's okay. He's a rookie. But it's fine. It was early in the season and it didn't really cost anything. So shout out Pumps. I'm looking forward to see what he can do, getting back into some competition with the NXT and going to Xfinity cars, and hopefully he can do great things over there as well. Yeah, that was a tough decision. That was the toughest decision we had in our ballots. Was definitely Pumps over Hendrick, and I just think the win outweighed right there, and that was pretty much the only thing. But all right, let's get down to our last 2 awards here. Most Valuable Driver Awards. Now this can go multiple things. Most points here. Most wins. Most champions. It could go multiple ways here.
Yes.
Bren, who is your premier most valuable driver of the year award?
I think you know the answer, Matt.
I
I think you know my answer.
Little homer.
You know
Little
my
homer.
answer here. Yes,
Yeah.
I am gonna be a little homer because he does a lot of things for HVM that help us prepare for races and stuff, and I know how much work he puts into that, as well as trying to perfect his racecraft, especially with him not having as much time to focus on NASCAR 25 due to having a child. Fortunately, that is a good thing. That is a good thing. My bad, Sterlo. That is a good thing. I'm happy for him. But yes, I would pick Sterlo just based off of how we know him. He handles a lot of stuff for HVM. But yeah, I would pick Sterlo for my pick because I know how
That's
much he
fine.
handles HVM and what he does for us. I understand the other picks though.
Very understandable. You can be a homer sometimes. I understand. You've been a homer all season long with your so not shocking
Well,
you pick be a homer
yes,
for
I am
most
a
valuable
homer.
driver. Okay. Hendrick, how do you feel about the most valuable driver for Premier here? And are you shocked to see the name that's about to announce here?
I mean, he's a top 3 pick for me. Man, yeah, I'm a little surprised on this one.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
I am too.
I mean, teammate wise, I'm happy. I'm happy for him. But I know, obviously, like Ren said, Serlo did really well. Obviously, I'm shocked that Stein didn't get picked for this one either.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe my third or fourth pick in this situation.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Shout out Cobra for winning this. It was like interesting. We didn't debate on it. We didn't really debate on anything this year except, we put our ballots in, counted the ballots up, and so. But there was an interesting one. I think I'm the only one who didn't vote Cobra in this. I think Impact voted Sterlo, and I voted somebody. I think I voted Stein, and then the others voted Cobra, which I understand why. If you look at it deep, you can count. You can really say Cobra is the biggest reason why three of the ILM drivers were in the final four. I think he took the team captainship away from Spartan midway in the season and really, really took it upon himself to help everybody else and get them into a winning situation strategy wise weekly. Um, and get on the best page weekly. And it really showed out when it came to Carrot, when it came to Stein. Practicing wise, showed out, doing everything they could, qualifying everything they could, doing the best they can. I think it really showed out. So I think it's pretty much why he got the vote here, which I understand. I think he deserves. I think he earned it. When you see all that, what he does that nobody really all can see behind the scenes, I think he deserves it. And as some people know what he does because some people have loose lips and tell everybody strategies. And Stein got a big mouth and says a lot of things. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Stein. I'm just kidding.
Oh man, you're throwing shade at people tonight. Damn,
Nah,
man.
I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. Um, but
Poor Stein.
yeah, I think Cobra deserved it. I could argue Stein here. I voted for Stein myself. Sterlo, obviously, being what Cobra is for ILM is what Sterlo is for HVM, in my opinion. So yeah, I believe it's a very interesting choice for this one. I do definitely agree with that. So I know everybody's not going to fully agree with this one. And I totally understand that. It was just it was an interesting choice that I read myself. So, but shout out Cobra. I think he's earned his spot in that organization. I think he's new team owner as well for Premier and NXT now. So he takes that leadership into a new form. So seeing how he juggles them both is going to be very interesting for next season, and really looking forward to seeing what he can do. But shout out to him for winning the Most Valuable Driver award for Premier. We'll move on to NXT, guys. There's no. Let's just it's easy here, right? Tyreek, when you win by a landslide, and total points by like 55 points, wins the playoff championship four by like 30 points. There's no other person for most valuable driver here, right, guys? There's nobody who can say otherwise, right?
Not really. In terms of
No,
driver, no. You
yeah,
don't
no, I
include
don't think
team
so.
owner in that.
No, it's like Tyreek by a landslide, most valuable driver award for NXT. When you win
Yep.
the playoffs by 35 points, when you win total points by 50 something points, might be even more than I'm thinking, but so I think he's earned it. NXT, we talked about earlier, definitely earned it. Here he is to talk about it. Congratulations to Tyreek on his Most Valuable Driver award for NXT. Tyreek, how was your season? And here, I know you're here to accept your awards, so tell us about it.
Oh man, it was awesome. The season was such a blast. I went through a lot. The first couple of seasons of NXT were a bit up and down. Pretty much weekly, whether I was lagging or not. But got the good old internet fixed. Got 6 wins on the year. Felt like it really showed my pace, showed myself to team owners, and showed that I could actually contend in Premier 2, which is pretty cool. But it's just an honor, man. I was 14 years old, joining this league 2 years ago. Didn't really know anybody. Bren gave me an invite. Shout out, Bren. And I really found a family here. And, I'm really, really thankful to be here, thankful to be in Premier next season, and thankful to win the championship in one of the best leagues on Xbox.
Appreciate the kind words. Lucky to have you here, and growing as a person and as a league member in this league, and appreciate you being here. You're one of the highlights of this league and this series. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do full time or Premier. You earned it. You earned that championship. congratulations on your championship. Do you have anything to say about your championship and how you felt towards that championship and how you earned it?
Yeah, thanks for the kind words, message. Really appreciate it hearing from you. But yeah, I want to thank, Stein, obviously. I uh I was I was pretty much had 1 foot out of the league at one point due to my leg problems at the end of Heat 5. But Stein gave me an opportunity in an NXT ride, and none of this would have happened without him. But I also want to thank my teammates. Lyle was awesome. Andy was super helpful, and D-Main was always the backbone of our team. He might not have been the fastest driver, but he was always there, to support us and help us out. And then I also want to thank guys like Iron Man. I practiced a little bit with Iron Man. He was pretty helpful throughout the process. Carrot, Cobra, stuff like that. Guys like that really stepped through extreme shocks. Well, dang, more guys that really helped me out throughout the season. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. It was really fun. I'm happy to have won the championship by this much, but just really thankful to be in this position.
Yep, you earned it. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. Looking
Thank
forward to
you.
seeing you next season, and you have your.
Yep. Thank you, Mets.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll move on to most valuable driver of the truck series here. Obviously, you could go to a champion here. Obviously, I think everybody came to a conclusion here that if he didn't win the last award, he probably could have won this award, winning the most points, even without the win, and being the most consistent driver in this award. Um, so shout out Hendrick. Hendrick, you won the most valuable driver in the truck series. What do you got to say about it? You earned it. I think that means all podcast hosts are all awards, award winners night. So congratulations. What do you got to say about your truck most valuable driver award?
Um, Man, I'm kind of shocked that I got picked for this one. I thought it would have been EXO, but you know, I'm I'm very glad that some people were able to see my work. At least throughout the season with consistency. Um, and I do think that although the ending of the season wasn't the way I wanted it to go, I think just from start to finish, just being able to have the expectations of being in the playoffs, considering I
Mm-hmm.
haven't raced in a long time. Yeah, it means a lot. Being able to make the playoffs, being able to be the regular season champ, being able to make the championship four. Yeah, I'm very glad to be a part of that. I do want to thank uh, DHR, for the start of the season, for letting me be on board, giving me an opportunity to show what I was capable of. Although I didn't end up with them at the end of the season, they did have a big part in my rookie season. So I just wanted to mention them. And then I do want to thank ILM for giving me the opportunity to move on over to their roster and giving me a lot of material that I can learn from. I do think NXT, based on how everything ended for me last season, is going to be pretty good. Getting multiple top tens to end this NXT season, I think, is really going to show what I can do in what should be my last full time season before going back to the booth.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely, I'm very happy to get this award. I can't thank everyone enough for voting, and we'll see what we can do next season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy to have you. Happy to, obviously we loved you as a broadcaster, but we're even happier to have you on track. Getting even more respect from the drivers who were happy, lucky to hear you call their races. And then once we get that back, you get that voice back in the broadcast booth. But you've earned everything you got in that truck series, and lucky to have you join the NXT series and see where it takes you there. So, it's going to be very, very interesting, to see you evolve. Um, but we got 3 more awards, all fan votes, so we'll fast track this. Um, we have fan vote. It was the most respected driver awards here. Everybody who voted, appreciate everybody for voting. I think it's all obvious award winners here. Cowboys wins it again for Premier. Shout out Cowboys, obviously one of the most respected drivers in the league. He's earned it. When it comes to respect, probably the most respected driver out there. Also, not even a surprise for NXT, one of the most respected drivers who's earned his more respect in Premier as well, and that's Dusty for winning most respected driver in NXT. And then I got the lucky votes for fan vote for being the respected driver in trucks. So shout out everybody who voted for me. I know I wear two hats in that situation, but appreciate everybody voting for me. But that's it. That's all the awards we have for tonight. We'll talk more next week. I know we're going to talk more about the draft, everything, but we'll have more of that next week. I know we're running over an hour now, and we'll not saturate the podcast with all that stuff. But as always, thank you everybody for listening. Shout out to the winners. Shout out to the champions this week. It's a fantastic season, all three of them. Really looking forward to this week off, and then getting back at it at Talladega. And next week, we'll have a little test session for NXT. We're gonna come Sunday. The only racing we'll have for no points or anything like that, but it's definitely gonna be interesting to see. But as always, thank you to Hendrick for showing up. Thank you for the Brand for showing up. The Soulable always. Thank you for everybody who showed up to accept their awards. And I understand some people who couldn't accept their awards. And no issue. I know there's leaks going on, other issues going on here. But, shout out them. They deserved it. Everybody earned their awards. Everybody earned their championships. And just happy to be a part of it. And we're lucky to everybody to be a part of ODRL and the future it brings next season. Grand National, trucks, NXT going back to Xfinity cars, and then Premier. Obviously, the best of the best, in my honest opinion. So very lucky. So with that being said, y'all have a great night, and that's all. Bull. We are out, my friend.
See you guys in 2 weeks.
Yep. See ya.